In this video, I'm going to show you how to buy Pepecoin. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to go to a couple of these other pages because there's a few other Pepe cryptocurrencies, and I want you guys to make sure that you're buying the one that you want to buy. Okay, so go here. There's all these links are on the top of the r/Pepecoin, and they're pinned to the top of the subreddit in the how to buy Pepecoin post. So go there. All these links to these 3 pages on CMC are here. Basically what you want to do is you want to go to each one of these and you want to look at the website, look at the X profiles, read about them, do your own research, and figure out, okay, is this the one I want to buy? This one is $1.8 billion market cap, and it is Pepe on Ethereum. It's basically a token on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's like a smart contract. And then this one here has a $16 million market cap, and it is also now, it used to be a chain, but it is now fully migrated over to Ethereum now. So check out the website, check out the X profiles, make sure, see if that's the one you want to buy, and if not, if it's neither of those two, then go to this page here on CMC. We're at a $25 million market cap. Website, all the links are here, and I'm going to assume from this point on that you want to buy this one. This is the coin for Pepecoin.com. It's the coin for r/Pepecoin. So do some research on it. Make sure that this is the one you want to buy, and if it is, awesome. Let's go. So on Pepecoin.com, there's a bunch of information here. You can take your time with it, read it. There's a good frequently asked questions page. I highly recommend that if you want to learn more about it, you go here and read that. Pepecoin, it's a blockchain. It's a decentralized network, just like Bitcoin. It's triple mineable with Litecoin and Dogecoin. So I'm sure you can mine Litecoin and Dogecoin at the same time. Well, now you can mine all 3: Pepecoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin at the same time. All our mining pools are listed here. Basically, what you want to do to get started, because this is a layer 1 blockchain. It's not compatible with MetaMask and stuff like that. Those smart contract like layer 2 wallets. So what you will actually need to do is think about it like this, right? If Dogecoin is not supported on your wallet, Pepecoin is not going to be supported on either. So you need something that Dogecoin is supported on. And the few wallets that we're on right now, we have to be manually listed on them. So the few wallets that we're on right now will actually expand over time. It's just going to take some time. But right here, you can download Pepecoin Core. Pepecoin Core, it's just like Bitcoin Core or Dogecoin Core. It's like the main wallet for Pepecoin. So you can actually download this to your computer and install it and store your coins on there. It looks something like this. There are a couple other wallets that we have as well. These are all mobile wallets. So Pepecoin Core is like desktop. You can run it on like Linux, desktop, Windows, Mac, and these are going to be like Android and iOS. Tangem is a hardware wallet. So if you don't know what a hardware wallet, it's basically like your keys are not on your computer at all. So if a hacker gets into your machine, they can't actually find your cryptocurrency keys because they're actually on a separate device. So Tangem Wallet's a really good device to store your coins on, and we highly recommend that you guys practice self-custody and also invest in a hardware wallet. So here are our exchanges. We're on Kraken, Mexc, CoinEx, a bunch of other exchanges. And basically what I want to do here is I just kind of want to explain, I want to show the process of how to actually buy Pepecoin on some of these exchanges. So what I'm going to do is I have a couple of these pages up. I'm just going to go back to Kraken.com. Right, I'm going to show you the home page here and actually how to get to this. So basically what you're going to do is, of course, you'll log in, but then you'll want to go to Kraken trade here. I like to use Kraken Pro. It's just nice. So I recommend just going to Kraken Pro here, and then just click Explore Pro. And what's going to happen is it's going to take you straight to a chart. That's going to take us to the Pepecoin chart, but you might be presented with like the Bitcoin chart. Let's just assume that happens for you, right? So here's Bitcoin, right? You could see all the orders. Basically, if you've never seen this before, you don't know how it works. What this is this is somebody offering to buy Bitcoin at this exact price. This is how much Bitcoin that they're wanting to buy, right? It's like an order. You think of it as like an auction house kind of, right? You have somebody willing to sell their Bitcoin at this price, and this is how much they're willing to sell. And these are called limit orders. So basically, let me do that again. Just click up here. There's a little search bar up here. Just click here and type in PEP, right? That's our ticker, PEP. So you'll go here. There's actually two pairs. There's the USD pair and then there's the Europe pair. We're actually not MiCA regulated yet. Well, let me say that again. We don't have the paperwork for the MiCA regulations done yet, but we should hear fairly soon. For now though, just go to Pep USD, click there, and then here's the chart for Pepecoin. So you have orders for Pepecoin. People are willing. You've got an order here for 24.21, and they're wanting to buy 658,000 Pepecoin. Okay, so how do you do this if you've never done this before? So basically, there's two kinds of orders. Well, there's more orders than that, but there's two main types of orders. There's the limit order and there's the market order. We recommend that people use the limit order, and I'm going to explain how this works right now. So let's say I'm looking down here at all the orders, and I'm like, okay, this guy's wanting to sell at 24.25. This guy's wanting to buy at 24.21. So I could kind of like come up with a price in between here. I could say, all right, I want to buy some Pepecoin at 24.22, and I want to buy 75,000 Pepecoin. Right. So if I clicked, I'm not logged in, but if I clicked, there would be a order button here, or submit order button here, and it would pop up here. You'd see your order down here. And then if the only way that it would actually execute is if somebody was on a computer on the other end and they accepted your order. So it doesn't actually go through immediately. You have to wait, and somebody might outbid you. Like let's say I put in 24.16, right? My order, and I let's just say for sake of example, this guy has 24.16 at 120. Right, so do 120 here, 120,000 Pepecoin. So if I hit submit, my order would show up like this, guys, right? And let's just pretend like I did this 5 minutes ago or whatever, and my order's here. And then a couple minutes later, somebody outbidded me, and they put theirs in for 24.21. Now you see that since yours is offered at a lower price, this person's is going to execute first because he's willing to pay more. So essentially what has to happen if you put your order in and you wait half an hour or something, it still hasn't gone through. Like this person, he's got 1 million Pepecoin that he wants to buy for 23.74. Well, in order to, and you can see he just got outbid, but you can see that his order here is going to sit until this person buys, that person buys, that person. So it's got to go all the way down because his offer is so low. So you have to keep in mind, like as you're submitting these limit orders, you want to kind of keep an eye on the order book, and you want to say, okay, have I been outbid, and what's the likelihood that somebody is actually going to sell me their coins? If I'm at 23.51 down here, you might want to consider like canceling your order and maybe making a new one up here at like 24.22 maybe, or even 24.20. And your orders are going to be down here. So all your orders are here. You'll be able to cancel them. I think there'll be like a little trash can. You can just click it and it cancels your order. But that's limit orders. That's how limit orders work. And if I go here to market, a market order is a little bit different. You can see that there's a lot of people that are willing to sell their Pepecoin at different prices and for varying amounts. So let's say this is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1.7 million, 1.8 million Pepecoin here, right? So a market order basically says, this is how much Pepecoin I want to buy, and I don't care what the price is. That's essentially what you're saying when you put in a market order. So for example, if I put in like, let's see here, 200,000 Pepecoin here. I'm going to put in 200,000, right? And I hit submit trade. What it would do is it would buy this one, and then it would buy this one, and then it would buy this, and it would go all the way up the order book until it bought 200,000. This can be fine. it can also be dangerous, because if I put, let's say instead of like 200,000, let's say I put like 20 million, right? If I wanted to buy like 20 million Pepecoin, you can see here that there's not anywhere near 20 million Pepecoin for sale at this price, right? And so what might end up happening is we're in the 24s, right? Here's the 25s. A little bit higher would be the 26s. To buy, there may be only like, let's say 50 million Pepecoin for sale on the order book, right? So if you put this in here, it may go up into the 24s, 25, 26, and you may end up paying for like the last bit of Pepecoin. You may be ending up paying like 32 or 35. So you have to be really careful about putting in like a really high amount in a market order, because you can end up overpaying or underselling. If there's not very many people that are willing to buy, there's like 8 million Pepecoin here. So if I tried to sell 20 million Pepecoin, the price would be, you may not get like that much for your last few Pepecoin, and you could end up like not getting as much money out of your sale as you would have hoped. So you have to be really careful with market orders. I would just test and make sure you know what you're doing before you execute like a really high market order. It's always safer to use a limit order, because a limit order basically says, this is what I'm willing to pay, and I'm not willing to pay any more. You're basically putting a limit on how much you're willing to pay, or on how low you're willing to sell for. So that's a little lesson on limit and market orders. Do your own research, not financial advice. Just try and practice a little bit so you know what you're doing. Okay, so this is Kraken. I'm going to go over here to Mexc real quick. Mexc is very similar. All you do is when you go to the Mexc's website, you just go over here to market, or actually it's spot. On spot. There we go. So I'm on the Bitcoin page here. You just go to token in this little search bar and just type in PEP. And there we are right there, PEP USDT. Click on that. And then we're right here. Now, the limit order and the market orders are right here. So it's the same thing. It works the exact same way. It's just a little bit different on the interface, but that's exactly how. And you go, this is for if you want to buy, and if you want to sell, you just click over here. Keep in mind that Kraken is US regulated, so they have a license to operate in the United States. Mexc does not at the time of this video. And so if you're in the United States, we recommend that you use Kraken over Mexc, only because you don't have to deal with VPNs. You can do a full KYC. Everything is legal. Kraken has all the license that they need to operate in the United States. I think there may be a few states where they don't have licenses yet, but you can find all that information on their website, and I'll leave you guys to that. Okay, so the last one is CoinEx. So CoinEx works very similarly. We're on the pet pair here, but basically all you do is go to spot trading, and then type in the search bar PEP. Yeah, PEP USDT. And then all you do is you got the order book over here, and you can go to limit order or market order. Again, type in the price you want to buy, how much Pepecoin you want to buy, and then just hit submit. I'm not logged into these accounts, so that's why the submit order button isn't popping up, but you can see everything here. It's very similar. Like, all the exchanges are really, really similar. If you've never done this before, you just kind of get an idea of like how it all works, and then it's laid out a little bit different on all the exchanges, but it's fairly simple once you get the hang of it. Okay, so these are basically the main exchanges that we're on. There's a few other exchanges like Biconomy, Ascendex, XT, DexTrade, but the process is very similar, and I'll leave you guys to that. Okay, so what other options do we have for purchasing? Well, on Pepecoin.com, we actually have some really cool swapping tools. So what you can actually do is we're listed on this swap service called Let's Exchange. Let's Exchange allows you to purchase Pepecoin straight from the website, and you don't have to log into any service or anything like that. You can just, if you have Bitcoin, for example, you could swap your Bitcoin for Pepecoin. You could swap your Monero or Litecoin or USDT for Pepecoin. It's really, really cool. So basically all you do, let's say I've got like some like Dogecoin. All right, I got some Dogecoin here, and make sure you pick the actual Dogecoin chain. Make sure you're picking the right chain. Yeah. So here's Dogecoin, and let's say 1600. That's okay. So let's say I've got 1600 Dogecoin, and I want to purchase some Pepecoin. I'll basically type in the exact amount of Dogecoin I want to send, and then I hit exchange. And then it's going to start an exchange here. And basically what's going to happen is you need a Pepecoin wallet. So I mentioned some of these wallets up here before. Pepecoin Core. I mentioned there was a couple of mobile wallets. But basically once you get those installed and working, you'll want to create a receiving address. And once you do that, all the addresses start with the letter P, all Pepecoin addresses. So that's how you know, okay, like if I'm using like an Ethereum token, if I have some Ethereum token, that's going to start with the address 0x usually. But with Pepecoin, because it's on its own chain, it's its own thing, all Pepecoin addresses start with the letter P. So once you've generated your address, you basically are going to post it in here. And then optionally, you can add a Dogecoin address in case this transaction, for whatever reason, doesn't go through. You can paste your Dogecoin address in here, and if something wrong happens, it will actually send you your Dogecoin back. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open Pepecoin Core here real quick. That way you guys can see the process of like how to create an address. Okay, so this is Pepecoin Core, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on the Receive tab here, and then I'm going to click Request Payment. What that's going to do is it's going to create an address for me, and I'm going to just go ahead and copy that. And then I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to paste it into here. And what that's going to do is whenever I send my Dogecoin, it's going to send me Pepecoin to this address. And when that happens, my Pepecoin will pop up here in Pepecoin Core, or whatever other wallet that I have. So if I had like a Tangent wallet or Coinami wallet or whatever, it would pop up in that wallet. So I've got my coins here. I click Next. Let's not do that. Just click Exchange here, see what this does. Okay, so now it's giving me a Dogecoin address, right? And it's telling me I've got 30 minutes to send 1600 Dogecoin to this address. Right, so literally all you have to do is just send your Dogecoin here. And keep in mind, this is ran by a separate service. This is not ran by anyone affiliated with Pepecoin. This is ran by a service called Let's Exchange. What we've done essentially is we have just added the widget for Let's Exchange to our website. So we are not going to get your coins or anything like that. This is handled by a third party. So you would send your coins here, your Dogecoin, to this address, and then Let's Exchange would do an exchange, and then they would get the Pepecoin, and then they'd send it to your Pepecoin wallet that you have here, and then that's it. It's that simple. You can do it with Dogecoin, you can do it with Bitcoin, Monero. There's like I don't know how many. I think there's like 700 cryptocurrencies or something like that they actually support. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this. And then let's see here. So there's a couple of other swappers actually. We're on Trocador and StealthX as well. So I'm going to click on these and just kind of show you their websites. So this works very, very similarly. You just go here, type in, let's see if I can type in Pepecoin. There we go. So there's Pepecoin. And you can do this with, again, you can do it with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, Litecoin. Basically anything that you want to do. I'm going to just type in Ethereum here. There we go, 450,000 Pepecoin. Just click Start Exchange. Works very, very similarly. Trocador as well. Let's see here. Type in Pepecoin. There we go. And it works exactly the same way. You send 0.001 Bitcoin, $67, and then it will go ahead and trade. So, okay, so those are our swappers. Go back to pepecoin.com. There is one more thing. We have an on-ramper actually. On-ramper actually makes it pretty cool, pretty easy to use. And you basically just punch your credit card info in, and it will initiate a I guess, a purchase automatically. So this is powered by Alchemy Pay. Again, we do not manage this. It's kind of like MoonPay. It's like an on-ramper. So you basically put how much you want to buy, and then this is how much you're going to get. It's like an estimate, and then you click proceed. You may have to do a KYC on this. I'm not entirely sure, but some people have had to do KYCs. But the KYC is not with us. It's with Alchemy Pay. So anyways, there's support here, so you can click on if you need help, you can click here, and yeah, there's support there as well if you need help. So okay, and that's pretty much it. We've tried to make it like pretty convenient for people to purchase. You know, you can buy on any of these exchanges. You can buy on our on-rampers. You can buy with a swapper. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and make it, you know, over time, we're going to try and make it easier and easier for people to buy. But it just takes time. We've been doing this for, you know, about 2 years now, and it just takes a little bit of time. We're on a lot of these services now, but we're going to try to get on more and more as time goes on. So I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment in the thread. So thanks.